If you're a student and you struggle with feeling lazy, not being able to focus, not getting any work done, procrastinating all the time, then I'm not gonna lie, I've been exactly where you are. And I've actually been in this exact position and I was struggling. But by the end of it, I came out with 9s and 8s at GCSE, A stars at A level, which are top grades in the UK, an engineering apprenticeship at a top company in London, a successful side hustle, and tons of experiences and skills that I learned on the way. And in this video, I'm gonna show you a few things that helped me get there and how exactly I went from not being able to concentrate at all to being productive consistently and never missing deadlines again. So I'm going to quickly run through these 3 main ways to instantly get more done and obviously become your best self. So the first thing is your phone. Okay, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of a distraction is my phone. Okay, my phone is my biggest distraction. It's safe to say that your phone is basically your enemy. And if for whatever reason you don't believe me when I say this thing, let me ask you this quick question. Okay, how many times has the reason you got interrupted from doing some homework, revising for exams, or anything along those lines been a notification from your phone, a message from social media, or just a thought and habit of grabbing your phone and just scrolling on TikTok or scrolling on Instagram for a bit? How many times have these things been the reason why you stopped working or why you lost focus or why you couldn't actually get things done? Now, if this doesn't ring a bell and this isn't you and you can't really think of a time where this happened, then just click off this video because you will not need it. But if this is you and this has happened to you before, then let me tell you how I fixed this, because I had this exact same problem. All right, and my quick easy solution to this was literally this. All right, leave your phone in another room every time you sit down to study or work. That's literally it. Put it in another room, put it somewhere else where you can't hear it, you can't see it, you can't do anything. This is going to completely eliminate any urges or any distractions that you had before and basically help you so much to stay focused. And it's really that simple. Okay, don't overthink it. There's no excuses. All right, just stick to this and it will go well. Don't try and say you need it for some sort of work or you need it for this. Leave it in another room and I promise you it will help. When you fall into these habits, you kind of just let your phone control you. All right, so if you really want to stop your phone from having that control over your mind and distracting you every time and actually get those grades that you want as a student, then stick to this and you will literally see crazy results. All right, so leave it in another room and I promise you, you will see results. Now, the second thing is something called time blocking. Okay, now it's safe to say that your time is literally the most important resource that you have right now, especially as someone who's studying or trying to get those grades, trying to do well in their exams, etc. So time blocking is really going to be key because it allows you to manage your time really well and actually have time to do the things that matter. What I mean by this, all right, and what time blocking actually is dividing your day into specific blocks of time, okay, and assigning dedicated tasks or activities to each block. Just splitting up your day and adding activities to each part of your day. That's basically it. And this right here is just a quick example of what you got, all right? They've got the time blocked out here, 8:30 to 9, 9 to 10, 9 to 10:30, 10:30 to 11:30, etc. All of these are specific things you need to do. Focus time, presentations, workout, cook dinner, etc. All of these sort of things. Now, you don't have to, be this insanely organized, but just having little parts blocked out where you might have some sort of homework or some sort of revision time, flashcard time, etc. This is in a student context. That's basically how you would use it and how I kind of used it. It doesn't have to be insanely detailed and filled out with when you have breakfast and stuff, although it might help you a lot. But just blocking out small amounts of your time and filling them with specific tasks is really going to help you to stay organized and for a lot of benefits. And that's basically what time blocking is. Each time in your day is divided and you know what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. And this is really important, right? Don't overthink it. It literally takes 10 minutes max to set up this for a week. For one day, max 5 minutes. All you have to do is think about what you're going to do that day and put it down. The best thing to use for this is Google Calendar. This right here is Google Calendar and it's really useful and easy to use. And it's what I use myself. Now, talking about the benefits of doing this sort of thing, especially for students, is reduced stress. Firstly, okay, when you manage your time well, you don't constantly feel behind or overwhelmed by deadlines or responsibilities. That homework that you have due, because you've got it in your schedule, you know that you're going to eventually get to it and get it done before the deadline, so you don't have to worry about it. Another thing is it's obviously going to boost academic and work performance. All right, you're going to do better in your exams now that you're getting things done. You've scheduled these tasks in and you're going to do them. By doing them, you're doing all of your revision for your A levels or GCSEs, university, whatever you need to do, or doing your homework. And this helps you deliver higher quality results and more consistently. Another really crazy thing I noticed is that it actually creates more free time. Ironically, the more structured your time is, the more you've actually got into the skill of time blocking, the more actual freedom you have or you gain for hobbies, friends, or chilling without guilt. Because you know when you're going to be doing your work or what you're going to be doing, you're going to have more periods of time where you're not doing anything, and you can fill those by doing things that are fun. Because instead of trying to cram everything in 1 hour at the end of the day because you procrastinated the whole day, you can do it before, schedule it well, and have that time guilt-free that you can take doing the things that you couldn't do before, like chilling with your friends or going out and stuff. Obviously, specific to Google Calendar, access anywhere, okay? You can use it on your phone, laptop, iPad. That's why it's really good and the best thing to use. And it's insanely customizable, okay? As you can see here, you can put different colors on different things. You can do separate calendars for work or school or whatever you might be doing. And you can even set reminders and stuff for these things on your phone, which is really, really good. And that's why I'd say this is a key skill that I used on my way and is so, so important. And the last thing is to rewire your brain, all right? When you have all of these bad habits I spoke about at the start, so, not focusing, procrastinating, being stuck to your phone and things like that, if you honestly and truly want to permanently stop, you have to break these bad habits and fix your dopamine system, because your brain is so used to this treatment. And if you don't do this, you're just going to go back to getting nothing done after and end up with bad grades and fail at the goals that you might have. If you don't focus on actually rewiring your brain, even after trying all of these things that I've spoke about, you're just going to go back to the same thing and end up right where you started. So these are the 3 main things that I use to actually rewire my brain and reset it kind of. And I'm going to explain each one just a little bit. So eat the frog technique. All that means is that at the start of the day, you're going to do the hardest task you have for that day. And I can tell you with full confidence, I still do this, all right? I hated going on runs. So I would make it a habit that every day, the first thing I would do, I'd wake up, brush my teeth, and I'd go on a run. I do the hardest thing first. What this does is it gives you a great feeling, makes you feel really motivated for the day, and has loads of other benefits. Like for example, now that you've got that hard thing done, you feel a lot better about all the other tasks that you have in your day, and they don't seem so scary anymore, and you feel more motivated and less likely to procrastinate. The next thing is the 2-minute rule, okay? This literally means that you kind of say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna do this thing that I don't want to do. So it might be something that you've been putting off or procrastinating on. You just tell yourself, I'm gonna do it for 2 minutes and then stop. So in the context of my run, I'd say, I'm gonna go on this run, I'm gonna do it for 2 minutes, and then I'm just gonna go back. I'm only gonna run for 2 minutes. And what happens is it's a really cool trick that you do to your own brain, where you kind of tell yourself, okay, I'll do it for 2 minutes. But once you've got your shoes ready, you've put your clothes on, you've gone out on that run, and 2 minutes has come up, you've done it for 2 minutes. By that time, your brain just thinks, you know what, I'm out here, I'm already got everything ready, I might as well just do a little bit more. And then it turns into maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And then you think to yourself, wow, I actually just did it. I went on my run, even though I just said I was going to do it for 2 minutes. So you actually end up getting the task done by kind of tricking your brain in that way. And worst case scenario, let's say that you do actually only do it for 2 minutes. You've still gone out and you've still actually done it for 2 minutes, which is better than nothing. So every step forward that you take is going to be better than nothing. And that's why this rule is so good. Try it out for yourself. You'll see how well it actually works. And the last thing is going to be a dopamine detox. This literally means to cut out all of the sort of instant gratification and cutting out your phone, especially all the sources of dopamine really that kind of mess your brain up. 99% of the time, this is literally just your phone. So that's what you want to focus on. And you want to do this for minimum, I'd say at least 2 weeks, is basically just delete all social medias, all unnecessary apps and stuff that you have on your phone completely. And that's how you're going to start your detox. So for 2 weeks, no social media, no TikTok, no Instagram, no Snapchat, none of that. Just pure basic stuff. Anything that brings you that dopamine hit on your laptop or whatever, wherever you have these apps, just delete it completely, all right? You're gonna stop that scrolling, that loop of dopamine of going on these videos and keep getting those small little hits of dopamine and that instant gratification. And this is gonna help you a lot to kind of rewire your brain. And the reason why this helps so much is that when you're working, your dopamine levels are completely different. But when you're watching these videos, when you're scrolling on social media, your dopamine spikes like crazy, and your brain's gonna crave that because you get those quick hits. But work takes a lot longer to give you that release of dopamine, so you don't want to do that work. By going on the detox, you're resetting your brain back to normal so that you can work normally and that you have normal levels and that your brain can handle doing those tasks, doing that homework and studying without actually just putting it off and saying, you know what, I just want to go back to my phone and scroll. So the point of this is basically just to reset your brain and get it back to that level where you can do those tasks and actually feel good about it and want to do more of it. So 2 weeks minimum, I'd say, to do this, and it will help you a lot. So all of these 3 things basically just help me trick and rewire my brain into being productive and get work done easily, putting you basically in the top 1% of students. I don't know a lot of people that actually actively think about these things and do it consistently. And that's what's going to give you those results. Now, I know this was really quick and I didn't really speak about these things in too much detail. So if you want to check out some completely free videos on these and resources, templates, etc., then check out my free community. I'm going to leave a link below. So just to summarize a little bit, if you want grades, you have to put in the work. Okay, this is the reality. There's no real way around it. So you have to take every step you can to learning new ways to be productive and get ahead of everyone else. So take notes on the things that I said in this video and try and become as productive as you can.